We have to sort them out. Okay, there is one thing you have mentioned which is very important we have to factor in is that Constantinople served as the headquarters of the Eastern Roman Empire, which is also known as Byzantine. Yeah, and it started to serve as the headquarters of the empire from 330 AD. Yeah, there is a background that I'll share with you, although you don't have to write it. Yes, that the reason behind this Eastern Roman Empire was because I'm sure you have heard about Roman Empire.
Yes.
Yeah, so the Roman Empire was headquartered in Rome, Italy. Yeah, and it grew and became bigger and bigger to an extent that the emperors could not rule them from a single headquarter. So they had to create another headquarter so that they can rule the empire from two headquarters. Because the empire extended from Western Europe to Middle East to North Africa, all that region was under Roman Empire. So that's why Constantine, who was the then Roman emperor, came up with an idea of establishing a second headquarters so that he can be able to rule the vast empire. So that's why he came up with Constantinople. So we have Constantinople in Turkey and we have Rome in Italy.
So we have two places, like
Two headquarters. It's like the way we have two capital. It's like the way we have two capital cities in Kenya. Two cities. We have 4 cities now. Yeah, that way.
So one is Constantinople.
The first one was Rome. Rome was the most important headquarters. Then Constantinople was the second one.
So Rome is in
Italy.
Rome is in
Italy.
Italy.
Yes.
Then Constantinople is in
Turkey.
in Turkey.
Yeah. Yeah. So, allow me to explain a little information on this empire. It is not important for you to write, but it's good because it will lay a foundation upon which we shall build our discussion. So, the empire became bigger and bigger. Unfortunately, the empire which was headquartered in Rome was referred to as Western Roman Empire. And then this one in Turkey was referred to as Eastern Roman Empire. So as time went by, the Western Roman Empire crumbled. It crumbled. All disintegrated. The Western Roman Empire disintegrated. And the reason behind that disintegration was attacks from... It was attacked by rival tribes such as Vandals, Saxons, Visigoths. There is a group of tribes that attacked the Western Roman Empire and it collapsed. But the Eastern Roman Empire survived. Yeah, so the most important thing here is we want to link it with the concept of Great Lakes region. When the Romans were in charge of Constantinople, they were able to access India, they were able to access China.
You're saying when Romans
were in charge of Constantinople. Remember, Western Europe was Christian, and Constantinople was Christian before it fell. So, Western Europe, they were able to access India, China, and Spice Island for precious commodities. Yeah, some of the commodities in China, they obtained cloth. In Spice Island, they obtained spices.
At which island? Which island?
Spice Island.
Spice.
Yes,
Yeah,
Spice.
Pice.
Yes, Spice Island.
Mm.
And then from India,
Mm.
they obtained silk.
So Spice Island, they obtained what?
Spices.
Oh.
Yeah, Spice Island modern day is known as Indonesia.
Oh.
Modern day it is Indonesia. So, there is a road. There is a road that connected Western Europe. It passed through Constantinople and then headed to China, India, and Spice Island. That road was referred to as Silk Road.
Oh, referred to as Silk Road.
You are connecting now?
Yes.
Silk Road. And it was a land route to Asia. Now, in 1453, Constantinople, or rather the Eastern Roman Empire, will fall in the hands of Muslims. And what happens is the Muslims will establish their empire known as Ottoman Empire. They established an Islamic empire.
Okay.
That empire,
Ottoman Empire.
yeah, Ottoman Empire. Now, what is the implication of that empire? You don't have to write this one, but I want you to understand this. Remember, even after the fall of the Western Roman Empire, still Christianity dominated that region. But here now we have an Islamic empire, which is in the middle of...
So Islam...
Yes, it is in the middle of... Yes, it is in the middle of Asia, which was the source of precious commodities. So what will happen? The Ottoman Turks blocked that Silk Road. Yeah, they will. They are called Turks. Ottoman Turks from Turkey. Turks. T-U.
Oh, Turk. Now I see.
Yeah, T-U-R-K. The Ottoman Turks, what they will do is block that Silk Road. Yeah, they will have to block it.
We will not get the commodities.
Yes, now the Western Europe will not be able to move to Asia to obtain precious commodities. And remember, spices were the most important commodities then. So there is a phrase that was crafted that spices were important then as oil is important today. It was the most important.
Watu walipenda chakula sana hizo enzi.
Bana. So what will happen after they have blocked? And how did they block? It is important to note this. They did not just block just like that. What they did was they charged expensive rates on outgoing and incoming goods. Yeah, to an extent that the Christian Western Europe found it quite unnecessary to give huge amount of charges, you understand when you are charged more prices for goods to an extent that you not make profit, so you stop trading with that particular region.
True.
Yeah. So what they did, tell me what they will do now.
So what they will do
Mhm.
is that maybe only a few, those the haves
Mhm.
will have those spices, but of course they will not trade. They will not trade with them. It will be for individual. But then majority of these people will now stop trading. I don't know what will happen.
Okay, I want you to understand this. There is that route that Turks blocked was a land route. But remember, we have said that spices formed the centrality of the economy, world economy then. Therefore, there is no way Western Europe would survive without... Yes, they could not survive without spices. They had to go for those spices. So, how did they go about it? What they did is simple. They had to look for an alternative route to obtain those resources, particularly the spices. Now that will usher into the age of Columbian.
What is Columbian?
Columbian is very simple. Columbian age was a period of maritime exploration Yes, it was a period of maritime exploration championed by two Iberian countries.
By two?
Iberian, Iberian, Iberian.
Iberian countries.
Yes, namely Spain and Portugal. And they will engage in maritime exploration to look for an alternative route to Asia. Because the Turks have blocked the land route. Now these people are looking for a sea route. So there is a transfer of power from land to sea.
Okay.
Unaget sasa? Now that period is known as Columbian age because Spain sponsored an Italian seafarer. Those people who engage in maritime exploration are called seafarers. Seafarers.
Oh, sea, yeah, sea.
Yes, seafarers, and then farer from fare.
Okay.
Or navigator. Yes, Spain sponsored an Italian navigator called Christopher Columbus. To look for an alternative route to, just write an alternative sea route to Asia. Unfortunately, Christopher did not reach Asia. And instead arrived in Americas in 1492.
Hizi vitu zilikuwa funny. So
Acha uji.
he was supposed to go to Asia.
Yes.
But akajipata huko America.
Yes.
Okay.
Haya. On the other hand, Portugal sponsored Vasco da Gama Bartholomew Diaz.
Diaz.
Yes, and Diogo Chao.
Hiyo Diogo ni ngumu.
Diogo. Diogo. Chao. Cao.
Unajua Charles.
Chao. Haya. Stop there. Continue by saying, now this is where the presentation will start.
That was laying background.
Yes, we are laying background. Now we are done with the fall of Constantinople. We are in the Columbian age.
Okay.
Before you write, allow me explain this a little bit. And then you will write. You see now when Portuguese started exploration, maritime exploration, remember a Spaniard has already landed in America. But these people are not interested in America. They are interested in Asia so that they can obtain spices. Lucky for Portuguese, they did not lose direction. Yeah, when they were sailing, I want to focus on Diogo Chao. When Diogo Chao was looking for a sea route to India, he encountered a well-established kingdom in Central Africa. This kingdom was referred to as the Kingdom of Congo. And he stopped there. Because by the time he was coming, he thought that the region was not habited. So he encounters people who are well established, they have a system of governance, a centralized system for that matter. So what Diogo Chao will do, will stop there and elect a post or a cross to signify that as a Portuguese has landed there. So what will happen? He will go back home in Portugal. Then the government of Portugal will sponsor more navigators to come and find a route to India. Remember, this guy did not arrive in India. He reached in Kingdom of Congo, he went back to Portugal. On his way back, he will be accompanied by now Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama will go around African continent. He will go to the Cape of Good Hope. He will come to East African coast. He will come to Mombasa. He will go to Malindi. And then a native from Malindi known as Kanji Malim will accompany Vasco da Gama and will show him a route to India. That is how they found an alternative route to India or Asia, and they were able to obtain spices.
Okay.
Now from that point, there was a conflict. Remember when people or nations are competing, there has to be conflict. So there emerged a conflict. Andika hapa hivi, andika ulikuwa umeandika hadi wapi?
You said we were to go to Columbian age.
So you have written nothing about Columbian age?
Yes.
So right, Columbian age marked the shift. Columbian age marked the shift from land power to sea power. Yeah, you will say Spain and Portugal took a leading role in maritime exploration to look for a sea route to India or Asia. Yes, you will say that Spain sponsored Christopher Columbus While Portugal sponsored Diogo Chao and Vasco da Gama to look for an alternative route to India. Yeah, you will say, higher in their quest to look for a sea route to India. In their quest to look for a sea route to India, Diogo Chao made contacts with the Kingdom of Congo. Remember, it's K, Congo. Yes, made contacts. See. He made contacts with the Kingdom of Congo in 1492. Yes. So, the Kingdom of Congo, just to explain, was situated in Angola. The capital was in Angola. But it extended from Angola to modern day DRC and parts of Congo. There is another Congo called Congo Brazzaville.
So it's extended from Angola to
DRC and Congo Brazzaville. There is another Congo called Congo Brazzaville.
Brazzaville, Congo ni K bado.
No, that now is C. Yeah, this is an ancient kingdom. So, remember where this kingdom was located is part of what we call today Great Lakes region.
Ati?
Where this kingdom was located,
now the Congo kingdom.
Yes, K, Congo kingdom, constitute the Great Lakes region, constitute a part of Great Lakes region. Yeah, so that's why it is of interest to us. So, I want you now to tell me, when now Diogo Chao made contacts with the Kingdom of Congo, what followed? Remember, Portuguese, they are in Western Europe. So what religion did they profess? It is Christianity. What type of Christianity? Roman Catholicism. So remember, those days there is a phrase or a slogan that says, the gun followed the the gun follows what?
Girl or gun?
Gun.
I don't know.
Followed the cross.
Cross of C-L-A-S.
Cross. In other words, before Europeans colonized Africa, they had to send missionaries first to come and convert people. So that's why we are saying that the gun followed the cross. Now this Portuguese, this Diogo Chao, after he went back to Portugal, Portugal sent a lot of missionaries. Yeah. So after that, Portugal sent a lot of missionaries in the Kingdom of Congo to convert the natives.
Congo ni C or K?
K. Kingdom of Congo is K. Okay. Yes. Yes. Now, alongside missionaries, Other skilled personalities also made their way into the kingdom, such as teachers, carpenters, masons. You know all those artisans. Are you there? Yes. Around the same time.
Had the carpenters.
Yes, at the carpenters. Around the same time, Portuguese also discovered Brazil.
Around the same time,
Portuguese discovered Brazil. Now, discovery of Brazil, you don't have to write this. Brazil was fertile. Yeah, Brazil was fertile because it supported the growth of sugarcane. Portuguese established sugarcane plantations. They also established coffee plantations, maize plantations, and mining.
So when Portuguese went to Brazil,
yes,
sasa ndio wanaanza kufarm.
Yes, they started farming. And what crops did they farm? Coffee, maize, and sugarcane. Are you there?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Mia, I lost my network.
Okay, no problem.
So you're going to say?
Yes, I'm asking you.
Yes,
Yes, what crops did they grow?
You said sugarcane, coffee,
and maize.
So when Portuguese arrived in Brazil, ndio wakaanza kupanda hizi vitu.
Yes, plantations. They established plantations. Now, Anyango, remember we are talking about 1400s. That is before 1500. Remember, today, Portugal has a population of 10 million people. So, just imagine.
In Brazil?
Today, no. Today, the entire Portuguese population is 10 million today. Now imagine what population did Portugal have in 1500? Maybe they were even 1 million or 3 million or even less than a million. Now they have established plantations. Where will they acquire labor to attend their plantations?
From Brazil.
From Brazil, from the natives in Brazil, okay?
Yes.
But remember also, Brazil was underpopulated then. And they have a colony in Africa. They have already made contacts with the Kingdom of Congo. The Kingdom of Congo was thickly populated. Now, let's go back to the Kingdom of Congo. Yeah, so what happened is, the first shipment of Portuguese, they started capturing people. Capturing people and shipping them to Brazil. to provide labor. So that is where now the problem started. Because now Brazil was a market, an insatiable market for African slaves. Yes. So that shipment of African slaves,
Yes.
that shipment of African slaves led to depopulation of the Congo Kingdom.
Depopulation, DE.
Yes, depopulation, because most of the people were shipped. So of course the kingdom would be depopulated. Now we are tackling on how now the Columbian age shaped their identities in Great Lakes region.
Columbian
Age shaped identities in Great Lakes region. Yes. So one of the things is sorry?
One of the things is,
you see, we already said that we already admitted that Portuguese were Roman Catholics. So one thing they'll do is to introduce their religion. And when they introduce their religion, they will undermine the indigenous religion that those people professed. So can you see they have reshaped their identity?
so the Portuguese are Catholics.
Yes, they are Catholics. Yes, they are Catholics.